everyone, this is Jenny Garcia, and in this video I'm going to share with you my December daily 2024. This has been my favorite December daily yet. I had so much fun making it. I'm going to talk about the products and the process that I did and the use and did. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments and I'll try to get back at you. I don't have any process videos for this album. I just wanted to get it done, and sometimes doing the process videos slow me down a lot, so just wanted to get it done. I finished it in like a matter of weeks, so I was very happy with that. I used an Ali Edwards album, and I love this size, this 10 by 8. It's my forever favorite. I ordered two when I ordered this one, so I'm going to use the same album for 2025. On the side, I use the December Daily pin, and I love how that looks. And the numbers are also from Ali Edwards. In the background of this paper, I did with a Studio Calico stamp, which is why I was so excited to see that stamp from this year with the stars. I ordered that one because it just looks so much fun, and I can use it all year around. Okay, so for the cover, let me real quick. I like that you can see the background, but so you can see the details of this page. I'm going to put blank piece of paper. I use the American Crafts Star Transparency, and I love this. And now that I think that we don't have Joann's, kind of bummed about that because that's where I used to get it. So we'll see what I do in the next few years. I did this mix alpha style in the Project Life album that I was finishing. I finished 2022, and I love this style, so I'm gonna keep repeating that all through this album. It's a great way to get rid of pages that have like a few letters left, so it's very convenient. There's Studio Calico here, there's thickers, there's fancy pants. These numbers, these three are from Studio Calico, and this one I cut in my silhouette. This sort of underline with the sequence I absolutely love. And what I did was, take it out so you can see it a little bit better. So in the back, I do have two knots. I don't know if you can see that very well. There are two knots in each corner, but in the middle, that way it wouldn't droop down. Every few inches, I would pop in the back sequin. So we have 1, 2, and 3. And I also did some stitching with the numbers. I didn't want to use glue because this is that transparency and it was gonna show, especially these two that are vellum and this is acetate. Didn't want to show, so I figured that sewing on it was the perfect way to add it. And then I added some pom-poms, and I used the Tombow Mono Multi Liquid Glue. As I said before, I love this little peak, but I don't think that you can, I don't know if you can appreciate that too well on video. I'm sorry for any glare. I'm doing my best. Okay. And this is day 1. In past years, sometimes I did pre-December and all the activities, but the few pictures that I took in 2024, I sprinkled throughout the album. They are not really, they're not a story per se, so it worked just fine. This card, I believe, is from In a Creative Bubble, and then I added a bunch of Pipstick stickers, especially these retro toys, because that was the theme of the Funko Pop Advent Calendar. Let me see if I can get smidge close. I added this Oh Snap because my kid was wearing gingerbread sweater. And this is actually a 6x8 page, yeah, 6x8 page protector from scrapbook.com. I just punch extra holes so I don't have problems with that. And I like that this is kind of like a different configuration of the ones in that come with the album. But yeah, if you have a 6x8 album and you want to add more, I would check out those. They're perfect. And I did all my journaling on my phone, and then I put all of those, you know, all that writing in a Word document, and I printed the all my journaling in Avery clear sticker paper. And I'm gonna have some items linked below if you want to check them out for yourself. This number 2 is very old. It's from Freckle Fawn. This card is also from In a Creative Bubble. This is like an older photo from before December. I use this loopy yarn around my Pokemon tree, and if you haven't seen it in my Instagram, you'll see it here later. I love how this turned out. I was so nervous because I am awful at sewing in when I have to show the back like we're gonna do here, because I always have issues with tension and it ends up all loose and I don't like it. But this one was decent. It was okay-ish. It was acceptable, so I guess we'll work with that. This is MT chipboard sticker template, so I kept it for this purpose, to add items inside. I added die cuts, I added stickers, I added puffy stickers, so I love how it turned out here. It's at like Studio Calico or something like that because that was part of one of the kits, so I just used a sticker to cover it. This is one of my super tiny trees. This is almost like 3x8. And this card is from Studio Calico. I was kind of bummed out that this, I thought it was going to be like too full, and I was nervous about how warped this was going to get, but it's just fine. We have 2 more Studio Calico cards here, and then one of our trees. This is our handmade ornaments tree, and I love it. Now these colors are a little bit unusual because it was about my kids went to a concert and their shirts are blue. So things covering it are covering important information and kits that I did not make. I love this whole mix here with the stickers. I've been sticker bombing. Let me try not to get too close to the kids. Yeah. So yeah, so I added a bunch of stickers. And this is actually a 9x12 page protector from also scrapbook.com. If you plan to do this, all you gotta do is put the photos, then you take your bone folder and just put it against something hard, and then you score through, and also cut off this super tiny piece because otherwise it's going to bump into your rings. This is day 4, and I did a lot of sticker bombing here, especially because Charlotte was using my stickers. And in an Instagram poll, I asked, else using your craft supplies, question mark, and then I had I'll allow it, and nope. Those of you who answer nope, Charlotte probably has your name. Just saying. If you see her in your house, I'm sorry, that was on you. I kept the sleeve here. I added a number. This number is from Studio Calico. These are just random tiny stickers. And I love this little tag here. These tags are from Citrus Twist Kits, and I really want to get more of those. These numbers are also from Studio Calico. This is, I use a lot of printables and digital collections. I love hybrid scrapbooking. It's so convenient, and I thought that this was perfect for talking about coffee. And I have a mug that kind of looks like that, and I just wanted to add this. This is from the bag. I eat very slow, so I always take leftovers, and we ate at this place called First Watch, and we love to go to brunch there. And this is also from the bag, so you don't have to add all the bag. You can just take some of the most important parts to you. And yeah, and this paper and this one with Charlotte's photo is from Paige Evans, and I still have some Paige Evans paper that I'm going to use until I don't have anything else, because I just love it. Like here, I used it, and the rest are cards. This is from Studio Calico, but it was supposed to be 3x8, but I cut it off at 4. And this was the beginning of our Pokemon tree. I used my 3D printer to print a bunch of Pokemon, and they were outside. I used my quill, foil quill to do these little stars, and I love how that looks. This is the same page. This one actually comes with the kit, and I love this like configuration with the 3x4s. We had a little extra, like if they let me do a tiny tree everywhere, I will do it. People need to stop me. So I did one with books in my living room. I just decided to use a circle die to cut this out. And that day, Charlotte discovered that her apartment was being haunted by groovy ghosts. So I added a groovy ghost here and a scare elf. And I love these numbers from Studio Calico. They came in a kit. I wish they came by themselves, because I checked the other day the website to see if I could get more, but they only have it in the kit. And I have enough kit supplies. If I end up getting something, I want it to be specific. And I had quite a few stickers from Pipsticks about DIY and materials and all that. Here I used the quill foil, one of those. If you have one and you haven't tried that, you totally should. It's such a cool tool. It's like when people say, I've had a fuse for years and I haven't tried it. And I'm like, you need to, because tools are awesome, but as long as you use them. And, you know, they take some practice, and that's not a bad thing. I had this idea to do this since I took the photos. So what we did was, we've had these Funko Pokemon advent calendars we had them 2 years in a row, or 2 years. We had 2 packs. So we did a little draft between our families, and we picked our favorites, and then we made ornaments with them. And this is the box where I was keeping them. And these are my kids' stickers. And I asked her if I could borrow them, because they would go so well with the layout and everything. And here I added like a little bow underneath and some scissors. And this is one of them. This is very old. This is from the Smashbook collection. This is again another one of the Studio Calico numbers. And I had the idea for this page as soon as I took the photos. Okay, so they all have transparencies behind most of them. Okay, so this one, this one, this one, this one, this one are from Pretty Little Studio. If you need transparencies or vellum, they have great pieces there. These two I made with transparency and digital paper and just my printer. And these two are from American Crafts. And I took a circle die and I cut out the photos. In the middle, I wanted to add my journaling, but I did add a Sylvian sticker, which she's up here. We did a bunch, so I just picked my favorite ones. I did this one, and I liked it because Mr. Mime had his hands up, and I wrapped lights around it, like he was tangled, and asked him for help. And I added these stickers here in a circle. So this was day 6. Oh. And this actually, I believe this paper is from Studio Calico, but of course is 9 by 12. So I did trim one of the rows. And then on day 7, we made ornaments. And we did those ornaments that you put the alcohol inks inside and then you swirl it. And it was kind of a pain in the butt because in the video that I watch online, and this is why I don't like these short format craft videos, because they show you a little bit and they're like, yeah, it's done. But what happened was is that they were not sticking. And I had to read the comments to find out why it wasn't happening. And when we started blowing on them, they had like moisture buildup inside because we naturally have moisture in our breath. So I just use handheld fans, and that's what made them stick. And then you put them, you know, first you kind of like drain them a little bit so they don't have buildup. And this was just one of the stickers pages that I was printing got ruined, and so it did this double thing, and I was like, oh, I could use that like as an element to decorate. But this paper is actually from Simple Stories, and I got that collection and I didn't use it that much in this album, so we'll see if I use it next year. I still have a few of these elf stickers. And I love this card. It is from In a Creative Bubble. Quite a few of her collections have these ornament cards, and I love them. They're probably my favorite ones. And here we have an, I would say 7.5 by 10 of the results, and they were so cute. They were perfect for the tree, especially because a few of these are kind of purplish, and the star is a Starmie. If you're not a Pokemon fan, we'll do close-ups later. And this paper, I believe it's actually a 4x6 card from In a Creative Bubble, or it's paper. I think it's a card, and I just turned it into paper because I like this so much. The next day we did these gingerbread village houses. So I decided to keep the packaging here and keep the back too. Sometimes I do a photo, but in this instance I wanted to just use this. And that was day 8. Here I added the same mix of numbers. We are using the Paige Evans paper for the back. I just wanted to use a few ornaments that are gingerbread-ish. And I cut out this circle, and then I used, and I showed this last year in a process video, for the gingerbread house day. And what I did was I made like a little pastry bag, the tiniest thing, with a plastic bag, like not like a sandwich baggie, but actually smaller, so a snack one. And I cut a very small hole, and I use molding. I don't think it's molding paste. I have it here. It's from Ranger. So it's texture page, and I actually have, okay, a little bit here. I think in the middle, like if I push off this tip, I can use a little bit in the middle because you can't touch it and it's still soft. So that's why I kept it, just in case I wanted to add something similar to it. And then I added some dots, and I added a few sprinkles and sequins. But I love how that turned out. And here on the side, I think this is a 6x9. Yes, it is. Okay. We have one house here. My daughter working on her. That day we had a very pretty sunset. And I added the journaling in a tag. The tag is from Studio Calico. The card that I added a bunch of stickers to it, but it's actually a really pretty card. It's from Ali's Studio. Then this tag is also from the Creative Bubble, and I got, this is like a it's from Lala Shiva on the Silhouette store, but it's just stickers. I did the same thing. I cut off that little section, and in the back I added the books I read. I kept it very simple because I had no idea how else to add it. I was like, if I write my my summary or my opinion, it's gonna be way too long. So I just added the book rating stickers, and this card is from In a Creative Bubble. This one I believe is from Studio Calico, and I just added this little tree to write holiday reads. This is from Studio Calico, from one of their kits. I think the December kit. And from that December kit also, we had these circle, what's behind this little snowman, this little label, circle label. Oh, here in the back I added transparencies. Okay. And the next day, the ghosts were stealing there, and they were stealing stuff from around the house. And it was getting too much. Like, they had her glasses, and then she couldn't see, and you don't want her flying to the North Pole without glasses. That's just dangerous. And I have the groovy ghost here that stole her sweater. She was not happy. Look at that face. She was about to throw down. And that day, there was something going on with my door, like the lock lost battery, and my kids were like ringing the doorbell and just being pests because they couldn't open the door. On December 10th, we got a visit from Santa and the fire department. And then she got her ghost problem resolved. You know, the Ghostbusters came, cleaned up her apartment. Down here we have Santa. We have a little bit of journaling and my filler card with the day. And I didn't want to cover these trees because there's purple in them. And the tree has purple. And it's very unusual to use purple in a collection, so trying to preserve the super tiny bit of purple in these trees. This die is from scrapbook.com, and I absolutely love it. It's a nestle die, so I believe it's like 4 or 5 sizes of this tree. I only had one paper in this like 6x8 paper, so that's what I had to like cut it down a little bit and make it half. I wrote kind of like a pun, poke a tree. And in the back we have a little closer look at Starmie. As I told you before, it's purple, and we bought it from a company, and I was debating. That's how actually was my birthday gift, because it was like so expensive. It was like $60 to $75. I can't remember, but it was so worth it. You know, now that I have a 3D printer, I know how much work it takes to. It's not you print it and then you're done. Bites. No, if it, I think it was painted after it was 3D printed, or even if it was done in different parts, then they need a better 3D printer than I do. So that costs money. So it was absolutely worth the price. It was so good, and we had Pikachu up there at the front. Oh, and these stickers are 6x8. Actually, no, they're 8 inches, not 6. But they are from Citrus Twist Kits. And I did get a few from Aliadors from the December Daily sale, but I don't know. I can't compare. I do have others that I will show when I get closer to the end that are from Aliadors, and I'll compare next year, I guess. And here these tags are from plushies we got for the tree, because you're not going to see them all, but I have more photos. So yeah, so there's a bunch. There's a bunch that we already had, but we got a polywhirl, and we had a skirt with the OG, I believe it was the OG 100, and no, because Boba Fett is there, and that's not an OG 150. Look, my kids have inducted me in the cult of Pokemon, so I know all this stuff against my will, but I do enjoy the games, and I enjoy watching it with them. I did a little special pocket, and I took the existing sequin mixes that I had, and then I mixed some other colors like purple and yellow to match the tree, and that was my new Pokemon sequin mix. You can totally buy them, but I have a lot of sequin mixes, so I don't mind making them at all. This is just paper from Paige Evans, and I forgot to write something about the tree, so I just did it in my handwriting. And all 3 of these are from In a Creative Bubble. So if you're looking for fun colors for your album, then I would check out In a Creative Bubble. She has a lot of cool colors, and also you can take some of these cards. I believe I did this with this one, and change some of the colors to make it brighter. And I didn't know what to do here at the bottom. This is actually, as you can see, is a Becky Higgins page protector. It actually has 3 4x6 and then 3 4x3. So I just cut off one, actually, and it has another row of 4x3. So I cut off that L. I don't mind doing that, and I always save. I don't throw away whatever's left, because you can do extra little pockets with your fuse tool, and you can add them to big photos. You can do sequin mixes. You can do bookmarks with them. And I love, it's our first year with the Pokemon tree, so I love close-up. We have a few of the plushies, a few of these circle ornaments that I order, a few of the clusters. We did these with perler beads. They're Pokemon ball snowflakes, and I love how those turned out. We have got one Pikachu ornament. I have another tag here. And what I did, and this transparency is from Paige Evans, is that I kept this in a brad. Oh dear. And I could open it. I should have been smarter and put it like inside. You know what? I can absolutely do that. Not a big deal. Look at that. Okay. And now you put it in the pocket. Okay. So this is one of the 3D printed ornaments we did. You can see a few of them closer. I got a bunch of those tiny Pokeball just balls, and I used my fuse tool with the tip that is like a point, kind of looks like a pencil, and I did a little hole on the top that just by melting it, and I added some clear string and it was perfect. It's also a little bit less expensive than ordering 10 Hallmark Pokemon balls or doing that with Etsy. And that day we went to my kids' honor roll ceremony for the second? This over here. Probably, but okay. And I added a little shaker pocket up here. I did this a while ago, and this is one of the things that you can do if you keep your extra page protector. I use a die, I think it was a Lawn Fun art die, Stitch art die, and I went around it and I left a little space, that way you can put your sequins in there, and then I closed it with the page protector. Then I added just a number with a washi dot. And these little word stickers are from Pretty Little Studio. If you love little word stickers, go check out Pretty Little Studio. They're also made in the US, so there's less issues with all the shipping that is going on lately. I used it here too. I also had a bunch of extras from labels. Sometimes I go off the page. Let me see if I... The thing is, I had a bunch of extras, so I decided to layer them and layer washi dots and stickers, and I love how that looks. Oh, and the next day, Charlotte was babysitting this bundle of terror named Joy. And she was nervous. There was a moment where she disappeared and Charlotte was gonna call 911, but there was like, it's a toy phone. She should know better, but she should not be babysitting. But, and this is the stickers that I mentioned earlier from a Studio Calico kit. I love the color, so I decided to use it for the album. And there was one moment where Joy went outside, which is very unsafe for someone that tiny. She could get taken by a hawk. And I recorded how my kids acted when they saw Joy waiting for them. That little sticker. She got in the vacuum. It was bad news. And here I honestly added a bunch of random things because I didn't have much for the other side, and these were just pages that fit around. I got this sweater, and it's from a song in Spanish called Mi Burrito Sabanero. It's and all over Latin America, and I love my sweater. I added like a little sweater sticker. I love this not paper. I'm thinking about scrapbooking. This pattern from Studio Calico. This was a message that, actually a meme that I share with my kids. And my youngest loves birds. And says, ladies, if he gives you 12 drummers, da da da, in the whole song, he's not your true love. He's wanted in multiple states for kidnapping and unlawful possession of birds. And my kid was like, that would be me. And I answered, that's exactly what I thought. and this was one of the characters in the retro box. I had no idea what it was, but I thought it was so cute. So I might just do one of those little trinket boxes that people do and add some of those to it and put it in my craft room. I have donuts here and just poor Peppermint having a bad time because an automaton tried to eat his tail. And my kid and her girlfriend went to a play, so they took some pictures over there. The pictures were not great, so that's what I use my Instax printer. That's the best way to, that and black and white photos are the best way to disguise poorly lit photos. And I use the paper from Paige Evans, and I had some ticket die cuts from other Studio Calico kits, and that they, Charlotte brought some blankets. We love a blanket right here, and we kept the packaging. So we had one pets. Oh, and I did this last year too. I just put a bunch of clear stickers here, and then we had this pattern, and this is from the play. And then we went to a place called Cozy Cookies, and they had like a whole bunch of decorations, and they had a tree, and I thought it was very cute. And this was the box of cookies we got. We had snickerdoodle and gingerbread, and this one that is like chocolate crinkle with peppermint, and it was so good. I love their cookies. And the next day we did like a little craft. We did like a little robot, and what we did, my kid got at camp last year this little rotating robot thing. So we added a bottle of, you can see here, it's creamer from Starbucks, and it has like a pretty decent bottle. So we decorated the whole thing super tacky and busy and crazy, and just saw it like spinning around, and sometimes it tilted and it like would spin in a circle. That was really fun. And this paper, I actually made this paper, but it was with elements from In a Creative Bubble. Okay, and I use also a bunch of crafty stickers. I did the same mix letter thing here. The next day, Charlotte got some mini books from Mini Brands, and I kept the little baggie, and I used this paper from Paige Evans as the background because I thought that it went really well. I used glasses because Charlotte uses glasses. My kids stay with me because a pipe broke at her school. I kept the instructions, and I actually use washi tape that way you can flip and read the instructions. I share this photo of Charlotte. So in her little board, she wrote, "I'm behind on my reading challenge, but I can read 199 books in 2 weeks." And then I added a little survey that says Charlotte is 1, relatable, 2, flying too close to the sun, and 3, brought this upon herself and Peppermint. But you know, she failed miserably, but she tried. That's what matters. Okay, so you see here I'm off a little bit of the label sticker, so that leftover I keep because I do like to use it as layering, as I did here. These scallop border stickers are from Pretty Little Studio. Here she was reading A Christmas Carol, and this sticker that says reading the Christmas story is perfect, also from Pretty Little Studio. And the glasses, the stickers with the glasses was from Pipsticks. And here I have the books that came with the little mini brands ball. I did made for an old Tombow project, little mini books as a summer reading challenge. This is my new niece Opal. She's so cute with Santa. And then I use this little paper clip to hold the checklist and the mini brands little baggie. The next day she came with her magazine, and the magazine had some, would you rather, and it says tell us about your holiday favorites and share it with your elves. So I wrote this or that and added the big number 17. And this comes with the album, is 2 6x4 and 2 4x4s. And in one little 3x4 pocket from Simple Stories, I just added the magazine. This is Elf magazine from December 2024. And if you want to subscribe to this magazine, or at least get this issue, you can send me a message on Instagram or here, and I'll share it with you. And here are my kids filling out that survey, and a picture at night with all the lights turned on, with all the little trees. That's my favorite part during the holidays, when it's night and I see all the lights. This is a very old Freckle Fawn card. This is from In a Creative Bubble. This is Sweater Day. And I love that I kept the background so white so I could add the journaling, and then at the bottom I added the word sweaters with the stickers. And here they are in a little, and here you can see more layering with the leftover label pieces. Oh, I realized that I ran out of wrapping paper, and pickup is always very, I don't shop at Target anymore, but it's so handy to go whatever, especially supermarket, because I'm short and I can't reach half of the thing, so I just prefer to pick everything up. We made coquito that day. Well, I made it. Everyone gave me emotional support. And I love a shaker pocket. And this one is the same Pokemon mix. Sometimes I'm gonna add something extra, like extra snowflakes or whatever. This one has extra snowflakes for the next day activity. And I had a dolly when I was little. It was one of these glowworms. That was my favorite doll ever. I still have her, but she looks rough. But I was so happy to see this in the box. And the next day we did this lava lamps with snowflakes and Alka-Seltzer, and I mix, actually I use baby oil instead of using the usual cooking oil, and I mix up water with white paint to make it look like snow, and my oldest didn't actually mix it very well, and that was kind of a fail, so all the pictures that you see are from my younger's bottle. This is another card, mostly a filler from In a Creative Bubble. My kid also did like a DIY snow. You make it with conditioner and baking soda. I think that's the mix. There's something else, but I can't remember. And then the next day, we did one of those mini verse boxes, and I'm obsessed, especially me. My kids like them, but I love them a little bit too much. And she even brought like a little UV light, and this was after the mess. And then on this page, I just used, this is actually a transparency. I thought that I was going to be able to see more from the transparency, but I went a little bit too happy with the papers, with the packaging. I added this roll cake was from, okay, I'll show it you. I'll show you in the next one. This is one of the little gingerbread men that was left over, and I just put the whole board here. And I added a pocket again with one of those leftover pieces from a page protector. That way I could keep this open. So you see, Charlotte was only able to find one of the holiday ones, and the other one was a Target one. So the kid did the Yule log, and then here I have again the same little piece of page protector. And then you have the instructions. You can either scan the instructions or you can read them. They're pretty easy to do. And it has, what I like is that it has all of the projects. Wait a minute. No, it only has the tree. That's strange because we didn't get the tree. Still cool though. Okay. And then the next one is from Target. Same, I added an extra page protector. I should have added like a little star pointing out that we did the caramel popcorn. We get like extra Target stickers and the kettle corn. I had this from something else and I thought it would be nice to use it there. This is the packaging, the instructions, and this was full of beads that were like different colors. So I used this micro beads just to have like a little shaker pocket action in there. And here we have more photos. This is a 6x9. You can see the whole thing here. And I have the process of the kids working on it. You can see the mushrooms in the log glowing. I have my oldest mixing up the caramel popcorn and the results. And then we have some close-ups. That's the little gingerbread man that was left over. I used another one and I can't remember where. Maybe I skipped it. I don't know. And I love this quote by Ali. Magic is something you make. So I did it like super quirky and with a bunch of stickers. And this is very old from Feed Your Craft, but designed by In a Creative Bubble. And here I use that circle stitch die on top of Paige Evans sticker. This tag is so old I can't remember who made it. So you don't need to like shop new every year. You can just discover new things in your stash. You can do trades. I know that the December Daily Everything Goes group, sometimes they do swaps. And oh, this is for the Nintendo tree. Since a bunch of the items were gonna move to the Pokemon tree, I had a few extra Kirby's from my daughter's birthday, so I added those to the tree. And this is my baby niece, and here you can see Charlotte's apartment. It is so bright. I don't know how she sleeps there, you know. I don't think she sleeps. And I don't think I had the plans to do a pocket here, but that's the way it ended up being, because I thought I was going to add just the tabs or punch holes or just cut it, but I don't know why I felt called to do a little sequin mix, and I don't mind it at all. It's a bunch of purple. I always do like a lights on, lights off photo. We have close-ups, and this is from Citrus Twist Kits. This page protector, it has 6x8, no, 4x6 photo and a 4x2 photo. We have a mix here and more close-ups to the tree. And then we have Cookie-thon, which is usually on the 23rd, where we make cookies for Santa. And we pick some books. I love to do like close-ups. My kid already, especially the little one, she loves to bake for the holidays. So here, that's all the tabs of all the recipes they wanted to try out. It was way too much. And I love how this card came out. Again, from In a Creative Bubble. No, actually, from Feed Your Craft, but designed by In a Creative Bubble. And then the next day is Pajama Day to get ready for Santa. And my book buddy gave me this awesome ornament with a little library. Opening the pajamas, and here I have the tags, and they have the price. You know, in the future we'll compare that. And I actually pasted the tags on a piece of cardstock, and to just not leaving, you know, so I didn't leave this white and boring, I added some washi tape from Paige Evans. And then here I have pictures of my nieces and nephews and their new puppy. Adorable. And last pictures with Charlotte. And these pajamas had a pocket, so I kept putting Charlotte in people's pocket. It was fine. I could touch her because Santa was going to give her a ride, so she wasn't going to lose her magic. And I tried to put like a little cookie with some coffee, eggnog, whatever you drink. And this is actually from Simple Stories, and it's a 12x12, but I cut off the bottom because it's the only one that has a 6x8 pocket and some sort of other configuration here. In this case, it has two 6x4s, and it's perfect. You have the knight. Wait, I wrote this wrong. It's supposed to be a 4. Wow, Jenny, killing it. I can fix that later. But yeah. And I use the same sticker here because it matches the mug. And then we have Christmas morning. We have the presents that my kids wanted. Since this one had a little space, I added the journaling there. My kid took this photo, so it was a little chaotic. So I used another card. Here I have pictures of them. And here I added more journaling. She asked for a lot of automatons and noise making stuff. Or she got hoo-hoo markers and she loves them. We have another card with journaling and a filler card. And then at the end we have a photo of us playing Super Mario Party Jamboree. And then I added "and to all a good night" with using the same method but with smaller alphas. And this paper is from Feed Your Craft but designed by In a Creative Bubble. And then I have this is the tab that I have from Ali Edwards, and I always cut it in two. You can fold it, but honestly they're so strong, they're so thick, they're ridiculously thick, so you can cut them in half and like basically double them. And I added, this is from the ornament, this was from one of the machine boxes, this was from one of the little items they got in the bag. And here I only have one program for my daughter's middle school honors thing, and this is the paint that we used for the Pokemon ornaments. And I punch holes. Last year I just glue it to the album. That worked out too. You can use, if you're being inspired by that, you can use whatever suits your needs. I would recommend though using a very strong glue. And that is my whole album. It's been a long video, but I hope you enjoyed it. I had so much fun making this and using all the stickers and the alpha stickers. Make sure you use your stuff. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're having an amazing day. Bye.